All right. Welcome back to the Model Train Outsider. And the big midweek news is it's here. It's finally here. This is the Steuerwagen, or the control car, sometimes called the control cab, for my IC2, my Intercity 2 Deutsche Bahn Jet number 2025. Got the whole train lined up here, but finally it's here. This has been an adventure, and not in a good way, but at least it's over. Last year, 2018, Märklin announced they were finally releasing a updated version of their IC2 cars. They had released a version about 3 years ago that was had no digital. The locomotive only had like 6 functions, and anybody knows me knows I like bells and whistles, more functions. My wife bought me the locomotive way up front there. I don't want to move the camera right now, so I'll just zoom in. My wife bought that for me 2 years ago, and it's been waiting for cars. The locomotive was a Brava, and Brava had announced they were making new IC2 cars that light up and everything, but they delayed them for 2 years. So Märklin announced they were making them, and I decided to go with the Märklin set because the Bravas kept delaying. And anyhow, normally Märklin releases their cars in a usually a 3-pack, 3 main cars, and then 2 additional cars. Usually you get a first class car, the second class car, and the control car, maybe a 4th car in the set, and then they'll sell the other car or 2 cars separately. But for whatever reason, I'm still not sure why, Märklin elected to release this car set. I'll move the camera back here. They elected to release this car set 1 car at a time. And they started arriving, I think it was September, the first one came out. And then it was 3 weeks later, the second one came out. And then 4 weeks later, the third one came out. A month after that, the 4th car came out. And the control car was supposed to come out in early November. It got delayed. But finally, and I had these all reserved. So finally, in mid-late November, I got notified from my hobby store in Germany that my reservation had come in. So that made for a happy Friday. I got the email on Thursday, and Friday morning, I went to pay for it. And for some reason, PayPal was not working, and I kept trying to pay for it, and it was PayPal's problem. It just wasn't going through. I definitely had no cash problems or anything like that that would have caused it, but for whatever reason, I don't know if it was the internet where I was at, or if PayPal was just having a problem, but PayPal kept screwing up. So I decided to wait till I get home and do it on my main computer. So I canceled the PayPal payment. PayPal canceled the order. PayPal canceled the order, and also apparently the reservation, because my model bond shop, when I went home later to pay for it, said reservation was canceled. I didn't cancel the reservation. All I did was cancel the payment. Long story short, if that's possible, my reservation went to the next person in line, and I was hoping, well, maybe in a week or 2 they'll get another set in. No. Märklin released a limited set, and they were done for a while. And then all of a sudden, December goes by. Don't have it. January goes by. I'm writing to Märklin, both the main German company as well as their American representatives. What's going on? And finally, well, we're going to be releasing more at the end of January. January came and went, and they didn't release anymore. We're going to be releasing more at the end of February. Oh, February came and went, and they didn't. Finally, middle of March, they released it. I got my new reservation acknowledgement. This time the PayPal payment had no problem. So here it is. I have been waiting for this probably for over 2 years. And as I mentioned in one of the Model Train Outsider episodes, my wife and I actually rode on this exact train. The train this is modeled on is a train my wife and I rode on. Okay, so yeah, this is great news. The train is finally complete. I'm going to move the camera here off the stand, so pardon the shake. So it really is a beauty in its simplicity. But this is actually a Brava locomotive, the Brava company, which makes really nice locomotives, but they can be touchy. And since I've rebuilt the track, relayed the track, it's being touchy a bit. I'm not quite sure what the issue is. But anyhow, so this is the complete consist. This is a standard consist of the IC2. You'll have 4 double-decker passenger cars and then the double-decker controls. This is standard. You don't see more. Occasionally you might see less. But what makes this unique, especially for Märklin, this is the first time I've run across it. And again, as everybody knows, I am a rookie in this. But the control car has its own microchip. Normally, the locomotive controls all the functions, including the interior lights. For whatever reason, Märklin elected to make it a two-way. They have a microchip in the control car that controls the interior lighting of the cars. So I'll show you on my central station 2 that, of course, we got to fight the lights and the glare here. But if you look here, this says the IC2 Doppelstock, double-decker Wagen, the control car. And you can see it has its own decoder in it, and it offers all the light functions here. So I actually have them all on now, although the central station's in stop mode. But I'm going to turn off the lights here and let you see the functions. But this is really cool. Okay, so I've turned off some of the lights down here so you'll be able to see this better. But right now, everything is in stop mode. But I'm going to turn this on, and voila, look how those cars light up. Those are absolutely brilliant. And even the destination, the train logo and destination lights up. And on each car, very brightly detailed, very nicely done. And on the back, of course, not only do your directional finders work, but so you can see the long distance headlights. We're fighting light glare here, but again, all kinds of lighting up on here. It is just a brilliant looking train. Very happy for it, so to finally have it. And so we'll do a little running session with it in a moment. So just finally glad, after really well over 2 years, to finally have a complete IC2. There's something just wonderful about these in their simplicity. And so let's do just a little bit of a running session. All right, so we are going to fire up the engine and give it a little juice, watch it take off, and then I'll move the camera around and we'll get a little bit of video as it roams the track. So there it goes, taking off. And like I said, there's one of the tricky spots to it. So I did just order one of those small cameras you can put on trains, so I can start maybe doing some cabin view. But there is just something gorgeous about these IC2s in their simplicity. And you'll have to excuse the lights. So it heads into my station. Alright, let's add some friends. Alright, we're just going to park the camera here where you see the most traffic and let everybody run through for a while. There goes the metronome flying through. We have the Nordwestbahn coming around. And it's just nice to have everybody rolling again. But we've got all the problems sorted out now, and just letting everybody roll through here. I did buy some plywood to start making platforms for the other station. Just got to rip them down a bit and sort out a couple of other problems. There's one of the tricky spots with this guy. Nobody else has a problem on there, but this IC2 does. But again, which is really a shame because last week we had everybody working just fine. And I didn't film a running because I was waiting for the control car for the IC2 to come in. I knew it was coming in this week, so instead of doing a running session last week, I waited, and all of a sudden I've got bugs everywhere. You can see some of the work I've done. I've done more ballasting here. And we'll wait for one more pass of the IC2 to come through, and we will call it a session. Gotta get that bird's eye view. There he comes by. Say goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.